At the beginning of this week, you are going to realize, do you know what are you going to realize? That you're actually coming out of something really, really bad. Because, first of all, you're going to have this message, this news, and then at that moment in time, this in itself, it's really going to surprise you, but in a quiet, pleasant way. And that in itself, it's going to mean to you so much, but then it's more about you having this idea. The idea that you're going to have at that moment in time, it's going to be the direct result of what you became aware of right at the beginning of this week. This idea that you're going to have, it's going to be so important because it's to do with something that you've been indecisive for way too long. So this in itself, it's really kind of that indecisiveness that you had. It was about something quite important, and it was about something that means to you so much. And this is why, this made you a little bit sad, and this made you a little bit negative within the last few months, and you were thinking about it quite a lot and quite intensely. So this is why this is going to mean to you so much. And this idea that you're going to have, it's also a very strong and a powerful sign. It's like basically pretty much so it's to do with you. Like when it comes to that idea that I'm talking about, it's to do with you knowing exactly what do you need to commit yourself to. Because this particular idea that you're going to have, it's not going to work, it's not going to happen unless you are on one hand very serious about it, but then on another hand you need to commit yourself to it like there is no tomorrow. At around that time, there is going to be such an unusual and very, very important sign which you are going to have. This in itself, it's going to be a very, very good sign, a very good omen that some kind of success is going to come into your life. That omen, that good sign, that good omen and good sign that you are going to have, intuitively you will understand this, and you will know this, and you will be able to read and understand this from a completely different and rather elevated spiritual level. So when you become aware of that sign, and it is going to be quite unusual, weird and strange sign, but you will know exactly what this means, my gorgeous Cancerini. You will know exactly what this means. You will know, that what you're working on and what you're thinking about and what are you planning right now and what are you thinking about committing yourself to, it's going to work really, really brilliantly. It's going to work like so successfully in so many different ways, because this is going to put you so much closer towards, how you want to live your life and how you want your life to be. This is like pretty much so about you just becoming so much more happier about yourself, about your life, but most importantly about what's to come. You know what I always say, what you need to do in this life, what we need to do in this life, is just follow those things that we are so passionate about. And this is a lot to do with things that you're passionate about, but then again, because other things happen within the last 2 or 3 years, it hasn't been easy. But then again, at the same time, now you will know that this is the sign that you are going to have. You will know, like literally, my gorgeous Cancerini, you will know that you are on the right path. There you go. That's the bottom line, that you are going to have a sign at around that time, and you will know that you are most certainly, most importantly, on the right path. This is going to bring a really great accomplishment into your life. Trust me, you're going to be so proud with yourself, and this is going to make your life so much more interesting and so much more successful as well. It is going to lead towards the ultimate success, or what can I say, towards the ultimate achievement. And you also need to understand that already within the next 3 or 4 months, my gorgeous Cancerini, there is going to be such an amazing and ultimate change which is going to come into your life, and it's all going to start happening right now. This is what you really, really need to understand. This is going to be really big. and it's going to make your life so much more happy. You're going to feel so much happier, so much more complete, you know. And this, as I said, it's going to lead towards an ultimate achievement indeed. And also, my gorgeous Cancerini, just pay attention to the very unusual dream that you are going to have at around the beginning of this week. This unusual dream that you are going to have, it's really going to surprise you. Maybe you didn't dream in absolute ages. Maybe something is going to be so weird and so bizarre and so vivid about this dream, you know. But then you know what you need to understand, that this strange and unusual dream that you're going to have, why is it going to be so strange and unusual? Only because you're going to be reminded of the specific aspect of your life. You're going to be reminded of a specific aspect of your life that you completely literally forgot about. And this aspect of your life, it's pretty much so to do with some kind of unfinished business, okay? So don't let this put you off. Oh my God, I'm gonna have a dream about an unfinished business. No, baby, no. This is an important moment of connection and reconnection with yourself. There is something that you've left in the past a long time ago. And we do that, all of us, all the time. And now it's time for you to kind of bring that in. It's not so much about an unfinished business, but it's more about what is actually going to come out of it as soon as you become aware of it. As soon as you kind of plunge in, as soon as you focus on it, as soon as you think about it, my gorgeous Cancerini, what you're going to realize is that, oh my God, there is so much potential that you didn't know about something. Okay, so you're gonna tap into, you know, such a powerful dimension where you're gonna become aware of this untapped potential. And this is why most certainly you need to really pay attention to what this is. And even if you don't necessarily remember your dream, then this is gonna come to you like the very first thing in the morning. I told you this before. You know, when we dream and when we sleep, we have astral projections all the time. We dream every night, but we don't necessarily remember. But what we do remember is the specific things that are not on our mind, like words or realizations. And this is something you need to pay attention to. So this is very important, because at the end of the day, the beginning of this week, it's a lot about the birth of creation, my gorgeous Cancerini. It's all about you understanding and knowing where exactly potential growth in your life is. And it's like this in itself, it's going to bring like such an interesting, like really interesting directions into your life, you know. This is so important, but it's all going to lead towards you leading so much more happier life, more meaningful life, and also doing things that you love doing in order to express yourself and get the most out of this life. Indeed, by the time you get to the second part of this week, you know, you are gonna have this super like intuitive, super psychic moment at around the midweek, my gorgeous Cancerini. There is some kind of insight that you are going to have. It's all about what you're gonna be intuitively become aware of. And what you're gonna become aware of intuitively, like what exactly do you need to alienate in your life in order to alienate things that like kind of brought so much stagnation. You know, this is so important, how to alienate things that are bringing stagnation into your life. But then again, these things are also the same things that are bringing so much doubts and fears, especially when it comes to you facing new beginnings in life. This is so important to work on this and do something about it as soon as you possibly can. So this is all about you understanding what do you need to eliminate, but especially when it comes to you eliminate the old in your life, you know. And then there is someone who is going to be influencing you so much. There is one specific person who is really going to be on your mind persistently at around the mid-week, you know, and it's someone like quite spiritual and someone who you feel very strong connection to, you know. And this is like a brilliant person, I have to say, because, you know, through that person person, you will understand the power of your, of the actual self-expression. You will understand the power of self-expression, but also at the same time, you're going to find something so fascinating about this person, and you're also going to see the little problem in your life not as big anymore, or not as negative anymore. You will be able to change your opinion and change your mind about it, and once that happens, you're going to become aware of a completely different perspective. And once you become aware of completely different perspective through that wonderful person in your life, you will know exactly which adjustment do you actually need to make. It's such an important stage, my gorgeous Cancerini, indeed. And also, when it comes to the midweek, what I want to say is that slowly, the balance is actually being restored. Slowly the balance will be restored at around midweek, indeed. So pay attention to little realizations that you are going to have, and the little ideas. There are going to be lots of little ideas that you're going to have for the first time in your life. Like, oh, you're going to feel you want to try this, you're going to feel like you want to try that. Don't be surprised. This is also a great sign that you're spiritually evolving. So naturally you're connecting to different things. So things are going to start becoming interesting here, indeed. By the time you get to the last part of this week, I like this quite a lot, because most certainly you are slowly but surely getting to the bottom of things. Okay, you're getting to the bottom of things, especially when it comes to you having a deep commitment. You're gonna know it's about a rather deep commitment, and that in itself, it's gonna require from you to take a decisive action. So it's all about the actual decisive action that you are going to need to take here. This in itself, it's going to lead towards a gradual progress, but it's gonna happen, as I said before, slowly but surely. But this in itself, it's so important for you to understand that at the same time, you need to pay attention to some kind of contemplation that you are going to have at the time. There is some kind of contemplation that you are going to have at the time. And there is going to be some very, very wise person who is going to be around you at the time, and much older than yourself, extremely wise and extremely intelligent and extremely clever and extremely spiritual person. That person is going to be around you at around the end of the week, at the time when you're contemplating about something. And that particular person is going to play such an important role, because through that person, you are really going to understand exactly, on one hand you're going to understand exactly what do you need to do, but then at the same time, through that person, you're going to understand the power when it comes to the new ways of communicating. But also you're going to kind of get you're going to, through that person, you're going to get so much thirst for some kind of knowledge, and this in itself, it's going to lead towards new ideas that are going to be absolutely remarkable. So as soon as you become aware of these new ideas, and it's all going to come through from someone who is going to be around you. So whether that person is someone much older, someone very wise, someone very clever, very intelligent, extremely spiritual, completely out of this world, there is someone so wise. So either this person is somebody in your life, or this person is somebody who you feel a very strong connection to when it comes to an internet maybe, or you're watching someone, and then at around the time when you're contemplating, through the power of the actual synchronicity, this is what you're gonna understand, through that person. It's almost as if you're evolving, at that very time. Just remember, you're also, when it comes to that person, you are going to get a thirst for knowledge. This is going to be very, very interesting in so many different ways, but you're also going to understand the power when it comes to new ways of communicating. Indeed, it's brilliant, because it's going to lead towards new ideas, but you're also going to become very, very curious about something. And what you're going to become curious about, it's really to do with making an enormous change, a really big change, and this enormous change that you will feel suddenly you will want to make is the direct result of you pretty much so coming to an end of a very kind of difficult and heavy cycle, and now the new things are going to begin. in. And when I mentioned to you before that, you know, it's time to get rid of the old in order to make a space for the new, you know, it's at the same time, this is the same energy which is going to push you out of the actual stagnation, and that in itself, it's now really going to reach this momentum at around the end of the week, where you're going to feel very, very strongly how much you want to make like some kind of a massive, like a really big change. And this big change, it's really, believe me or not, it's going to reflect on your immediate environment. It's going to have elements of like things that you wanted to do in absolute ages, but it's also going to have a new elements, and it's also gonna, you are going to surprise yourself how adamant you're going to feel. And this is completely natural when the certain cycle comes to an end. So you're just kind of really making energy around you so much more lighter as well, in so many different ways, you know. What you need to understand, my gorgeous Cancerini, that, you know, at around the end of this week, all I can say to you, your life is about to bring you a whole new meaning. Okay, my gorgeous Cancerini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.